Hey everybody, Toy Dad here to talk about Putty today. Putty is having a big resurgence right now, and you're probably going to get some for Christmas or Hanukkah or the holiday that you celebrate. And so I went and I got some. I was also given some as a gift, and so I want to check this out with you guys. I got a small variety of different kinds. Let me show you what we're looking at here. This right here, shaped like a volcano. It's from some kind of a volcano series. This is called Krakatoa, Indonesia. The actual line of putties is Volcano Putty, but this color of it is Krakatoa. There were all different colors from this particular line. You can kind of see green, yellow, dark purple. They were all really pretty, and I picked this one because I thought it was the prettiest. I'm going to be looking at Planet Putty, which is from Target. This is the Neptune color. If you want to take a good look here, it is an amazing icy looking swirl. Also, amazing slime. There's just a very small amount of this, and it's got big pieces of glitter. First impression is I don't really like it. But then guess what? The title of this color is Downside Up. And then I realized this is based on Stranger Things for some reason. I remember a little bit of slime being in Stranger Things, but not a ton. This one right here is called Amazing Putty. It's color change putty, and the color that I got here is unicorn. This one looks a little nicer, and it was a little more expensive. It's in a nice tin, as is this one. This one's just called Magnetic Putty, and I believe you have to buy larger quantities of it. So if you go on Amazon, for example, you'll be spending $25 or so for about 6 tins, all in different colors that come in a pack. So Magnetic Putty is super awesome. And I'm going to flip you around here and start opening these up. All right, so here's our first putty. This is the one called Krakatoa, Indonesia. Collect all 6, 5 ounces. The price was decent for this. It was about $5. And I'm going to open this up. I like the container that it's in. It's a resealable container. And it looks like the seal, this safety seal was a little bit broken. So I hope that our putty is not crusty or anything like that. So if you look at the design on this, it's harder to see actually from right here. But when you look at the side, you can see how it's settled in the container. And it's got some really like metallic swirls. It's got some really deep reds in it. I think that it is such a cool idea. But let's have a look at what happens when we get it out and mess with it. Okay, first impression. If anybody was alive in the 90s, and if you bought Gak slime from Nickelodeon, that's what my first impression is. Now, there's a problem here with the safety seal being broken. I do have some kind of crusty pieces here, so I'm not going to mix it up all that much. I really, really like looking at it. The more, it's going transparent as I stretch it, and then it broke right here. The more that I look at it, the more I wonder what would it be like if I set it down and let it settle. I might make some additional videos about that and see what happens. But it's cold. It's not that slimy. My fingers come away from it feeling pretty good. So this wouldn't turn your hands into a mess when you play with it. I really just like looking at it metallically. It's not a way to look at things. I like it the way looking. I like how metallic it is. That's what I like. And yeah, it's fun. I hope that the more I mix it, I hope that it doesn't start to get all mixed together. I hope that it keeps some of these streaks that we saw in it initially, and that it doesn't all combine into one single red color. I'm going to stick this in here. I'm going to let it settle down for a little while, and then we'll see what happens. So my next one, scoot this over here. This is Planet Putty. This is going to be very similar because it's from the same company, this Grin Studios. Let me pop the lid off of this. There was no safety seal on this one. So again, we have a little bit of crustiness around the edges. I will either pick that off or see if it kind of settles down. Man, I really, really like... The camera is not doing this justice. It's a lighter color blue than what you're looking at. It really looks icy. And the texture inside of it, there's this swirling inside of it that is so cool. As far as what the putty is like, I'm going to say that it's exactly the same as our friend over here, the volcanic putty. Ooh, there we go. Which is to say, fun to play with. I'm sure that this is going to be great stress relief for me and for the kids. Not that they need a lot of stress relief. Or maybe they do. Elementary school's hard. But yeah, this is kind of fun. It breaks if you stretch it even faster than slow. So it's much different idea than Silly Putty. It's, I wonder, thinking about that. So I used to take Silly Putty and use the egg that it came in as a head or a body. And I would take the Silly Putty and make arms and legs or eyes and a nose and ears and turn the whole thing into like a Muppet. This stuff shapes fine. I'm going to watch it. Yeah, it's not going to hold its shape nearly as well as Silly Putty does. Silly Putty does this too, where it kind of starts sinking and flattening out, and melting and losing its shape, but doesn't do it as fast. This one, it might be just because of the color that I'm looking at. It seems to be keeping the interesting look. Yeah, I like this one, I think, better than the first one, and it could be just because of the color and not because of the title or whatever we've got here. So Planet Putty, I'm going to let this settle in here again. Planet Putty came in all of the planets, so you're looking at Mars, Jupiter, Earth, Neptune, Venus. And I want to say the Sun. I can't recall. I'll have to check that out. I'm going to let that settle in the container, and I'll look at it again in a minute. Next one I want to look at, the one I'm least excited about because of the giant sparkles, the giant pieces of glitter in there. But I've been proven wrong before once. And, oh boy. Problem number one, this is locked away so tightly that I don't really know. Ah! I found a seam. And so that's how we'll open it. So slime based on Stranger Things is interesting, and there were all different colors of this as well. This seems to be really tightly packed with freshness seals and everything, and so maybe I'm already being proven wrong about its quality. Maybe, look at that. We open it up and it has another safety seal on the inside. I can't even tell what color this is. Ooh, but I'll tell you what I can tell right now. This is not the same as the others. This also came from Grin Studios, so it's the same slime company, but the consistency of this slime is much different. This is less like Gak Splat, and it's more like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ooze, or the purple Ghostbuster ooze that you used to be able to get like in the 80s. So it has its own. It even smells like it. Wow, whoa, I just got taken down memory lane with the smell of this stuff. Okay, I said I could be proven wrong, and I'm right. It's the second time. It's kind of a pain to get it off of the lid, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to dig into this slime. Ooh, it's more fun. It's fun in its own way, let me say. So this is, I understand the Stranger Things theme now. Because kind of like Ghostbusters, it's the slime that monsters are leaving behind, or the slime that you would see if you put on a containment suit and went into the Upside Down. I haven't gotten to the sparkles yet, the glitter I mean, but it's over here. Let me see what that's all about. It's not great. Whoa, and I'm losing some over here. Yeah, the glitter's not great. It's sticking to the inside of the package. I probably need to just knead it with a K. Knead it in my hands for 10 minutes, get that glitter all spread around. And then I would probably need to play with it regularly so that it didn't want to fall by the edges again. But it's really hard. It's really stuck in there. I'm thinking I'll never be able to play with the glitter. And instead what I'm going to do is just grab a small amount like this and put it on my hands. This is much more sticky. You can see I've got traces of it on my fingers. And so it's a good thing that the glitter stayed in the container, or there would be glitter all over me all the time from playing with this. Weaknesses I see, it really sticks to your fingers a lot. So you got to be ready to get dirty, I think, if you want to play with this. I just realized I'm not really showing you my fingers. It's, yeah, pretty sticky on the fingers, but I got to tell you, really fun. Easier to stretch. The glitter is kind of spreading itself out now. Yeah, I get it. I get the appeal of this. There's much less of it in a container compared to these others that we're looking at over here. But it's fun in its own way. You're looking for a different kind of experience when you play with this. So let's see if I can put it back in the container. And after it's back in the container, let's see how clean my hands are. And hopefully there's no glitter. Glitter is the worst. All right, so the way to get it off your fingers, in case you're new to slime, is kind of the same idea that you would do if you had gum on your fingers. You use the big piece of gum to go around and get the small pieces off of you. One hand is clean. The other hand, not even close. I guess finger by finger. If you're lucky, I'll fast forward this part out of the video. And if you're not, then you're hearing my voice right now. And since I'm lazy, you're definitely hearing my voice right now. All right, I've got it contained, isolated to just my thumb. Isn't that great? And let's see if we can get it all off. Okay, so if you've got big plans during the day, if you've got to be somewhere in 5 minutes or an hour, maybe don't play with this one. This one settled fast back into the shape of its container. I think it could be my favorite to play with of the ones that we're looking at. There. I think I'm free. I think I'm free. Almost. All right, let's call that free. The glitter is spread around a little bit. That's kind of fun. Oh, I found some more on my finger. So I'm going to set this aside. This is the one of all these that I'm going to play with the most. I mean, unless one of you wins my contest and says that you want me to send this to you, which I will do. Stay in there. It's a lot of slime for the container. It's a tight fit. And on top of that, I'm not even positive that I got the lid on well. I almost need... I'm going to call that good enough, but it's tricky. Tricky. I'm going to put that over there. Next one. This is going to be a longer video. I'm sorry about that, but I hope that it's worth your time. This is the unicorn putty. I'm excited about this one because A, it's probably not going to stick to my hands quite so much. So this is also from Green Studios. See the logo here. So it's color change, which is something different than what the Planet Putty and the Volcano Putty have. Let's check on the Volcano Putty. It is keeping a lot of its interest as it settles into this container right here. That's a lot of fun. But here we go. Amazing Putty, Unicorn Putty. Color change. It's not a twist off. It's a pop off. Oh, look at that. That's nice. So the putty starts out purple. And it comes in this container. That is a good seal for freshness. And there we go. Oh, wow. This is quite a bit different from that volcano putty and from the amazing slime over here. So this, first of all, it's very slimy. It's leaving a definite oil on my fingers. And it says that it's color change. Maybe I should read some instructions because so far it's not doing anything. Caution, allergic reactions if you're hypersensitive. Don't call me hypersensitive. Don't eat it. Don't give it to your pets. Don't put it on your clothes. All right. Well, no instructions, except that it is color change. Well, my first guess is that it's color change from heat. So I'm going to hold it like this in my hot little hand. Be patient with me, and we will see what happens. Yeah, can you see that? It almost looks like a trick of the light, but I think that it's starting to turn pink. That is the color that I would want it to turn, since it's unicorn color change putty. Yeah, that's a little more evident. It's actually pretty subtle. You'd have to have a hot-handed little child in order to see this. Let me try this. And it's making, again, my whole hand oily. You can see the sheen, I bet, off my fingers now that I'm playing with this. These other putties over here did not have any of that. Oops, got a little drop on the table. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze this again. And again, over here in this hand. I see some change, not in the places where I would expect. Right here where it gets thin, it starts to change. I wonder if it's something else. Maybe it's like friction. If I go like this, no, that's not doing anything. Okay, so my guess is it's heat. It's probably a really easy formula for them. And the more I play with it, the lighter that it gets. So that's got to be it. You want to either keep the tin warm, not in the microwave, as my 8-year-old learned this week, but you want to keep the tin warm somewhere, you know, put it on your heating vent in the middle of the winter, or just have somebody play with it for a long time, and then you might see the color start to change. The whole thing is a little lighter than when I started, but it's a little bit hard to tell. So it's very subtle. If you thought this would be a great gift for a child who loves unicorns but has a short attention span, they're never going to see the color change if they don't play with it long enough. So, know that. And I'm going to pack it away. Hopefully it stays fresh in this tin. It's not quite the tight seal that this has, and I don't know what kind of seal this one has. This thing's like a puzzle to put back together. But I can hear the snap together of the container, which is more than I can say for this guy. I have no idea if that's even sealed at all. So, great. We're on our last putty here. Let me spread out what I've done so far. Unicorn putty, amazing slime. Oh, interesting. Putty and slime are different things. This one is called a putty. This one is called putty. This one was called slime. That's how you know. I should have known. And our last one is another putty. Just to be sure, before I open it, I am going to rub my hands off, see if I can get some of the oil off, because I would love to know if this stuff is oily as well. Okay, this is a bright green. No, it's not. It's a dark green. It's much softer than the unicorn putty. This stuff was pretty hard. reminded me of like an old silly putty. That one. This one is much softer, and it comes with some fun stuff here. Look, inside of this container, besides the magnet, which we knew that it would come with, and the magnet turns it black. These are the little metallic shards that we have in there. I'll be right back to that. We've got some googly eyes because the instructions show, and when I looked this up on Amazon, I saw the same thing. They recommend that you put it on your face, or that you make Mike Wazowski, trademark, where's the lawyers for Disney, or that you make cupcakes with an eyeball on them. Wait, where's the eyeball? These are googly eyes. That's not quite right. Or little monsters, like from that new Matt Groening show on Netflix, the little demons. Or some kind of tangled mad ball. So, here's the idea, basically. You take the magnet and you put it by the putty. I'm probably not going to use these googly eyes because I don't want to. And let me open this thing up. So here's what I know so far, just from looking at it. There are probably a lot of little metallic deals in here. And they gather where you leave the magnet if it's left there long term. So my guess is that at the start, I'm going to have to work this putty a little bit so that I can get the magnetic material all spread out. Kind of like how I was willing to do with this. This is a little, where the magnet was, where all of these magnetic particles are gathering, it's pretty tough. But I can feel that with a little bit of work, I am going to be able to spread those out. Now look at this. I don't know if you can see this very clearly. I've broken open the magnetic part. Let me move this. So this magnetic material in here broke apart like it was one of these other types of putty. And it's interesting. I'm not focusing on it very well. This is nice soft putty. This is going to have to be worked into there. So let me take just a second and work this around. This would probably take a while. And I wonder if the heat of my hand is something that would help, or if it's just going to be time. I can feel it kind of breaking apart, so I'm going to just work with this for a minute and talk to you about the consistency of the slime. It reminds me the most of this volcano slime in the Planet Putty, so that's kind of the neighborhood that we're in, is it's kind of like gack or that type of putty. And this putty, remember, and these putties had a very different feel. This one here was really, really hard. And heating it up with my hand helped that a little bit, as you would imagine, but that's what we're looking at. Okay, I've mixed it up as well as I can before boring you. And this is the next thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to set it on the table. I'm going to hopefully let you see that. I'm going to put the magnet near it. Oops, too close maybe. I'm going to put the magnet near it. Nope. I'm going to hold the magnet near it, and I'm going to see if it reaches out. It's a little bit difficult to see. I'm going to put it on its container here. You can see that a little better, right? And I'm going to see if it... Yeah, it does. That's kind of fun. Now, that was a really dark part, which means there's a lot of those magnetic particles still right there. I'm going to now put it next to a light part. It's moving, but I don't know if that's because the putty is just settling from gravity. Yeah, I see it reaching out a little tiny bit now. Yeah, that's very subtle, but you can see... Let me bring it closer. Even though this is not a dark part of the putty, can see it reaching out when I put the magnet close. So even where there's not a big deposit, I guess, of the magnetic material in here, even before I take the time to really knead this and work out, spread out all that stuff, it's still magnetic even over here where it's not dark and super duper magnetic. So that's kind of fun. I'm not sure that, I don't know how long this has been sitting in the tin next to this magnet. I don't know what would happen if I stuck the magnet right here and put it back in the tin for 6 months. Oh, but look at this. This is kind of fun. The putty's kind of swallowing this magnet up. That's pretty cool. I think I might do a time lapse of that. But, ooh, it's really in there. Yeah, that's fun. It's still fun to play with, even though you have to do a little bit of work beforehand. So that's cool. I like that one. I'm going to put this in here. Ooh, with the googly eyes. And this. So what we're looking at is everything has its own benefits. If you're shopping for this for yourself, for stress relief, oh, and it's not slimy, by the way. It wasn't oily. It's a whole lot like these. If you're looking for putty for yourself, for stress relief, you're probably going to want to go with one of these guys with the eyes. You could go for the magnetic putty. You could go for this planet putty. You could go for the Krakatoa putty. If you're looking to see what ectoplasm looks like, or to turn turtles into ninja mutant turtles that are teenagers, then that's this one. This is not really your stress relief one. You can't take 5 minutes at work and mess with this because it's going to probably get everywhere. It'll get down into your keyboard and stuff. This one, probably my least favorite of all, because it's color change, but not really, and amazing putty, but really slimy. And it was pretty tough and hard. So of all of these ones that I've looked at today, that's my least favorite. Again, this is all personal preference. If you think that you'd like this better, do it. But that's what we're looking at. If you are going to be sitting there kneading with a K and watching, then I think that that's a good option. I think that this one is amazing. Of all of these, I'd have a hard time picking. In the container, I like this one. Out of the container, this one was just as cool. So there you go. And that's only a handful. There are different kinds of putty in different stores. A lot of these came from Target or from online. I know that Walmart has their own different kinds. There's always silly putty. You can find that even in grocery stores besides like Walmart and Target and other toy stores. But there you go. That's my review. A long review. I hope that you stuck with me. If you want any of these and if you know about my contest, my first contest for subscribers, the person that I announced as the winner has not come forward yet, and there are only 3 or 4 days left before I do another drawing, and so keep your ears open for that, and we'll see how that goes. And you can refer to my previous videos if you think maybe you won. Go look through my video list. Like and subscribe, because even if I don't pick you for the winner of my 100 subscriber giveaway, I'm going to be doing this again at 200 subscribers and 500, where if I draw your name as the winner of one of those contests, you can look through my old videos, you can find a toy that you want, and as long as no one else has taken it, or as long as I haven't stipulated that it's a toy I won't give away, which there's only one of, which is that dinosaur puppet that I used to make videos with my kids, then have at it, including stuff from the Disney store, stuff that I've gotten online or from Walmart or Target or anywhere. We're talking Star Wars, and we're talking superheroes, and we're talking Funko Pops, and we're talking the whole array of things that I've looked at. Okay, so keep it real, and I'll see everybody next time. Bye.